started playing in junior high and started playing with some friends, started playing in the band, was in the school band. I remember a drum-off competition between me and a friend who's still a good friend.
I was just going to ask you that. What kind of music were you listening to at that time?
Seeing Planet Drum in, like, I guess it was like '89 was huge for me.
Your middle school and high school years, you were performing a lot more and practicing a lot more and honing your craft. Would you say at that point you realized that drums were more than just a hobby? It was a lot more serious to you than you maybe could have thought?
I think that I figured out very early on that drums were definitely the way to go. I had just a connection with the rhythm of the whole thing. What a treat too to be able to, emulate the people that you really admired and went out to see when you were, a kid, and to be in a position where I get to play drums and I get to do, my own version of drum solos or playing the drum parts that the Grateful Dead did. I mean, that's just, it's kind of like a dream come true. It's a lot of fun. It's sustained me for years, and to be able to take a paycheck home from doing it sometimes, I'm just beside myself. And even years before going out to Colorado and getting into Shakedown Street, I was in a shakedown on the East Coast in Connecticut, and an original music project which went pretty far for what it was, and those were fun times too.
So you ended up at the University of Colorado in Denver?
Yep, ended up at the University of Colorado in Denver in the Music Industry Studies program that also had a percussion performance component, but since I had already gone through an undergrad percussion degree, I was given a liberty by Bill Hill, who is the Colorado Symphony's timpanist, but was the teacher at University of Colorado at the time, and he allowed me to pick out stuff that I wanted to learn how to do, and he taught me.
That's great. So you're finally at a place where you're really getting the education that you need. And at the same time, you're feeling out a new area and a new music scene.
The scene was really, really easy for me to get into here in Colorado. I started working at a mom and pop's drum shop and took the place of the drummer who's now the drummer from the String Cheese incident. He was working at this shop before I did. And for a year, I was just working. I wasn't going to school yet because I was getting the in-school, in-state tuition, and becoming a resident, and just kind of checking out Colorado. I was going to see bands and making myself known, and on Garcia's birthday in '98, I was called by the band Shakedown Street and asked to join the band, from that point on, I'm still in the band. I'm the only one left from that era, and the scene almost came to me. I had become part of this iconic tribute act that rolled through Colorado, that throughout the years has played with members of the Grateful Dead and members of Jerry Garcia's band, and it was a real treat for me to do that. That's kind of how I fell into the scene here.
This train's got to run today. Spend a little time on the mountain. Spend a little time on the hill. Like some say, better run away.
that you have you kind of gotten involved in as well as the rock stuff?
I was in the percussion ensemble. I was in the fusion ensemble, which was amazing. It opened me up to all kinds of stuff, like Billy Cobham style of music, some 70s Miles Davis stuff, Mahavishnu Orchestra, and I did that throughout the term, being in the at the University of Colorado. I was also in the Dixie ensemble. Yeah, I mean, a lot more stuff of pop, besides pop and rock and roll that I got into over the course of time being in here. And Boulder, Colorado was huge also in that the drummers collective there was amazing. Everybody shared. It was you come in and do these drum classes, and being in the drum shop, I would be paid just to sit there and watch, which was like amazing to be paid to learn. I mean, it's like getting paid to go to school. So
what do you get? I mean, how do you compare the teaching children music to what you get out of performing music? Can you compare them as far as satisfaction? I mean,
their children spell will slowly
or are they two different animals? You just get something different out of each thing.
it's definitely a good vibe I get from both, and it's, you're right, they're different animals. It's like the leopard and the cheetah. I firmly believe that as a good musician, you have to give back the knowledge and the gift of playing music. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So at one point, music was my life. It was it. Before I came into the school and teach kids, that's all I did. I mean, I lived, I eat, I breathed music. That's all I did. I do the same thing now, but I'm teaching it as well as playing it. You guys ready?
teach your children well.
Rest.